All right, we're here today to give you 6 tips about fat loss. Could come in handy for a few of us. Tip number 1. While the main goal is weight loss, we want to ensure that you maintain your muscle mass. So get your 2 to 3 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. You'll have everything you need for muscle repair and growth, plus the high thermal effect of protein, which will ensure that you burn more calories through the digestion process.
Tip number 2, cardio. When to do it, what type of cardio to do. Really, it doesn't matter for the day, whether you do long steady state cardio, whether you do high intensity interval training, whether you do fasted cardio, whether you do cardio after a meal. At the end of the day, it's just going to increase your overall calorie expenditure. The main thing to remember, while you're doing your long, slow, steady state cardio, you're going to burn a higher percentage of fat. When you do your high intensity interval training, you're going to have a bigger metabolic effect after the exercise is over for a couple of hours afterwards.
Tip number 3. I like to move from calorie dense foods to less calorie dense foods as I diet. That way you get to keep the food volume high while reducing calories and increasing the calorie deficit.
Tip number 4, planning your meals each day. The only way you're going to stick to your nutritional plan, hit your macros for the day, and really be aware of what you've eaten for the day is if you plan your meals in advance. Weighing and measuring your meals and making sure you're planned for the day ahead.
Tip number 5. You will get food cravings if you have nutritional deficiencies. So to avoid that, make sure that you get a variety of foods in your diet or supplement prudently. That way you'll stave off the cravings.
Tip number 6, keeping in the big, heavy compound movements in your training plan while you're in a fat loss cycle. So a lot of people think you need to do high reps, you need to do isolation exercise when you're aiming for fat loss. However, the opposite's true. The big compound lifts, your squats, your deadlifts, movements like that, they're going to burn the most calories. They're going to have the biggest flow-on effect with your metabolism when you leave the gym. So keep the compound movements in there.
So there's your 6 tips for fat loss.
Ultimately, it comes down to a calories in versus calories out equation. If you take in more calories for the day than you burn off, you're going to increase your body weight on the scales. If you burn off more calories than you take in for the day, you're going to decrease your weight on the scales. That's just weight on the scales, body weight. What we're interested in is body composition or body recomposition, fat loss. And that's where these 6 important tips will help you out. Try them out yourself, give it a go.